Today, we are celebrating the life and legacy of Val Kilmer by celebrating a movie that not a lot of people talk about. And is it one of the best rogue animal movies of all time? I don't know. Let's find out. As today, we're talking about 1996's The Ghost in the Darkness. Let's go!
Flip the switches to maximum amplification as Parker, Dan, and Angela prepare for their operation. With trivia and plot points scrawled across their walls, laughter and debate erupt as the movie's drama calls. The world may call them crazy, minds gone astray, but genius and passion and madness all dance the same way. Now the show begins to rise from its broadcast realm, and you can open your eyes as we dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dissect That Film Podcast, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, are my wonderful co-hosts, Dan and Angela.
Oh.
And joining us once again to talk about another animal movie. Because when I think of an animal movie, when I think of any animal movie, I'm like, who is a perfect guest? And that is the man from the Great White North. He is the host of the Bucket of Chum Shark Movie Podcast. We have Captain Steve Coates in the house. What's going on, Captain Steve?
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. I used to watch this movie quite a bit when I was a kid, actually. It was one of those VHS tapes we had at the cottage that was always on.
You and me have the same history with this movie. I watched this movie so much as a kid. I wore out my grandma's VHS, and I'm sad I don't own it anymore. But yeah, it's that is jumping into our histories. Me and Steve, very similar ones. So, Dan, Angela, do you have a history with Ghosts in the Darkness?
I do.
Okay.
I have watched this several times. I only could watch it on TV, so you get the TV cuts. I think it was like TNT or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember they would always show it on TNT.
I always, every time it was on, because you had to go by the guide.
Oh yeah.
As soon as it said, I was like, "Oh, yep, I'm right there." Yes, so many times.
Absolutely. Dan.
Mine was a off-the-shelf VHS thing where I remember seeing this. I never watched it. I knew of it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say my mom had it. I want to think we owned this movie, but based on the title, I'm like, of course I didn't read the back of the box. I'm I ain't gonna watch this shit. This is not me kind of movie until I realized it kind of is. But no, I'm pretty sure mom had it. I remember seeing it in our VHS collection, seeing it at the store, but I really didn't know anything about it until it got brought up again for this, or recently I think we discussed it, not just for this episode. I was like, oh shit, that's what that is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when we
videos that you have seen that I haven't.
I know it's very rare when that is the case.
Reverse.
Yeah, usually Angela is our resident. I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah,
but to have her be the one to watch it, Dan not. It's always a rare treat when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about this movie recently before you messaged me. Literally, a friend of mine and I were watching In the Shadow of Kilimanjaro, which is about killer baboons in Africa with John Rhys Davies.
Oh yeah,
pretty well done film. Not as good as this probably, but there's definitely a lot to like about it. We were very surprised by it, and we usually do what would we double feature this with after we see the movie. And this was the movie that I was talking about because it very much reminded me of that, and I haven't seen it in fucking years.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have not seen this movie in probably 15 plus years. It's been a very long time. I don't even know if I've actually seen this high def. And to be honest, the rental I had to get today because I've been running into issues where I keep picking movies and then ordering them too late, and then by the time I'm going to get that Blu-ray, it's after we're set to record. So it's well, I'm not doing that. So I guess I got to rent it, unfortunately. And even the version that you rent on Amazon, I was like, boy, this this kind of looks like a VHS rip. Like, not terrible, but it doesn't seem like high definition. I'm like, did this get a high def like transfer? It has a Blu-ray, but it's like, I mean, it's not terrible. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I can't see anything, because usually that's what happens. They do these weird VHS rips, and it's like, what am I looking at right now? Like, but I'm waiting for a 4K. If this gets a 4K at some point, I'll definitely snag this on 4K, because I think it needs it just for certain aspects of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a very, very long time.
He kissed his wife goodbye and came to Africa to meet his destiny.
Let us prepare for battle.
He never expected to face this danger, to meet this legend, to share this adventure. Shoot him! In an incredible story that's true, Michael Douglas, Val Kilmer, The Ghost and the Darkness. Rated R. Starts Friday, October 11th.
So yeah, The Ghost in the Darkness was released October 11th, 1996. I know we're covering all these 1996 movies when next year would be the 30th anniversary of these movies, but yeah. I wanted to cover a Val Kilmer movie that wasn't Tombstone, that wasn't Batman Forever. We've already talked about Batman Forever, but I love Tombstone, but I feel like after his passing, so many podcasts were covering Tombstone. So many podcasts were covering Batman Forever, Top Gun, even like the Island of Dr. Moreau. Like yeah. I feel like people were talking more about that movie than they were talking about Ghost in the Darkness. But to be honest, when I'm on, like, after he had passed away and I was, looking at all of the posts that people were putting up about him, people were putting this as like their favorite one of their favorite performances from him through his career. And I was like, okay, well, at least people are, appreciating this movie, because I don't ever hear people talk about it. And so that's why I wanted to talk about it. And I didn't care that we were a year early to cover its big anniversary. We did it last week when we covered Kingpin. That's also 1996. So you get two 1996 movies in a row.
Dan's perfectly fine with that.
It killed him a little bit inside. I guarantee.
It did.
Like, I'll
really
never
does.
show the
Listen,
weakness.
Dan, you have a problem with it. I don't know why. I do it because more people then see it and they go, "Oh yeah," and then we get this download numbers, Dan, for stats. You got to pad the stats. No, people like anniversaries. That's why I do it.
About the numbers, man.
That's what I do it, Dan. That's what I do.
No, I know you have your reasons. I just don't give you shit about it.
He sees that an anniversary is coming up, and he starts scratching.
Hey, y'all got any in the anniversary?
Don't worry, we got a whole rest of the year to do it. I got a movie from 1960 on that shelf that we're covering very soon.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh sweet.
Yeah, you guys know. So yeah, this movie was directed by Stephen Hopkins, who we've talked about before. He directed Predator 2. But we did talk about him when we covered all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, because he directed Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, one of the better ones. The Lost in Space remake.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, he followed up this movie with Lost in Space.
What is the selection process? What was his good movie?
So,
where was the one that he like hit his
Predator
stride, like,
2.
this is the motherfucker? All right, fair. So like Predator 2,
Blown
like,
away.
This motherfucker.
Blown Away is good.
Who away?
Blown Away.
Yeah.
It's got Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. It's
I know I've seen it years ago, couldn't tell you what it's about, but I know I've seen it.
yeah, I'm like looking at the plot synopsis real quick, and I'm like, nope, not diving into that right now. But he also directed a bunch of episodes for the first season of 24.
Oh.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. You
But-
Tales from the Crypt.
So as Steve was saying, yeah, this Lost in Space came right after this movie, and the end product of this movie wasn't even Stephen Hopkins' version of the movie.
No.
So Michael Douglas, one of the stars of the movie, who actually only shows up in this movie for like 20-25 minutes, he was an executive producer on the movie, and when it was done, he like took full control of it. He was in there during the editing process. Stephen Hopkins wasn't even involved, and he chopped like 40 minutes worth of this movie to get what we get in the final product. So at the end of it, this truly isn't even Stephen Hopkins' like vision. Like Michael Douglas came in and
Probably to its benefit.
yeah. So Yeah, I probably. Michael Douglas also came in a little later than most everybody else, and pretty much when he chopped all of the scenes apart, he pretty much did it so that his character was in more of the movie.
Yep.
Because I guess he was supposed to be in less of the movie than he actually is. Which, when watching this, I was like, wow, he doesn't show up for like over an hour into the movie. It's crazy. It's just Val Kilmer just wandering around dealing with this lion situation, and then like you're like, oh shit, where's Michael Douglas the whole time?
Yeah, he just shows the
Honestly,
fuck up.
I forgot he was in this when I started watching it, knowing full well that Michael Douglas is in this movie. And then he finally shows up, and I'm like, oh, right, he is in this movie. There he is.
And he's
Fucking
top
crazy as
billing.
ever.
He is top bill.
Yeah.
His name comes before Val Kilmer.
Says he doesn't appear until 45 minutes into the movie.
Okay, that's pretty much an hour.
That's
It's
roundabout
pretty
an
damn
hour.
close. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Close
Oh.
enough.
Still pretty much halfway.
Oh my goodness. But so, Stephen Hopkins directs it. They get William Goldman to write it. This is a Academy Award winning writer. He wrote All of the President's Men in 1976. He wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Like these legendary films. He comes in, writes this movie, and yeah, it just, compared to those others, it just doesn't seem like it's coming from the same guy.
And it's technically a remake too, right?
Yes. So the original film was called
Wanna Devil or something?
Yeah, Bwana Devil came out in 1952. Is based on the book The Man-Eaters of Tsavo by John Henry Patterson, which was published in 1907. Because this movie takes place in 1898, which is around the time that the actual events were happening. Speaking of John Henry Patterson, his book was highly debated because in the book he actually mentions how many people he believes the lions ended up killing, which would, again, it's like when I read what the budget is of a movie and I'm like, why is it so different? It was like 35 to 135 people. That's a big difference.
That's a bit of a jump. Like
what?
I would accept like 35 to 50, 35
Yeah.
to even 60 would be pushing it, but I would accept that. But like 35, maybe 135, why 200? Let's just round it fucking up to 200 while we're at it.
Didn't have time clocks back then, so they couldn't keep track of everybody.
Because, oh man. Yeah, I mean, when we get into the plot, there's many times where they actually mention how many people have been killed like throughout the movie. And then there's the one scene, which we'll talk about in detail, where it's just like, hey, we need to get to that 135. How do we do it? Oh, I got an idea. We'll talk about it more. But so the real story of the lions, or the Man-Eaters of Tsavo, they were two lions. So I guess the lions were maneless. They were male, but they were maneless, which I guess a lot of the lions in that area were maneless. I guess it was some sort of, like, I don't know if it was a disease or something that was infecting the lions of the area, which was making it so they actually looked mangy. And that's
Okay.
one of the reasons why they actually started going after humans. And just like, let's say a human starts eating people, becomes a cannibal, they get used to it, they want more. And that's what was happening with these lions, is they were going in, they were killing and eating humans. And they were like, well, this is an easy food supply. They're not moving. They're not going anywhere. So why don't we just keep on going in there and getting them? And then by the end of it, I think, according, like I said, Patterson with his weird ass numbers, not knowing exactly what it was. I think like years later, they did some research and they were estimating possibly up to like 50 people actually got killed by these lions, which is still a huge number. You got to think 2 lions killed 50 people over the course of like 6 months. So wild times.
That's a lot.
But by the end of it, Patterson, I guess in the book, says he killed the lions, both of them, because fun fact, Michael Douglas's character, not real. He was made up for this movie. It was just kind of a character that was created just so that Patterson had like a guy with him to like bounce off of or whatever.
We had Samuel.
Yeah, we didn't need Michael Douglas. We had Samuel.
Exactly. Fuck that dude.
Actually, I don't mind Michael Douglas in this movie, so I can't be too mad. But you can actually see the lions at the Field Museum in Chicago, which is actually stated in the movie. They're still there, mounted.
Who missed that? I don't
You
know.
could actually,
we missed it.
you went there?
Yeah, we went there in 2019.
Oh,
Yeah, we
saw
saw
Sue?
Sue. I was there to see Sue. I didn't know anything about this.
Sue
shit.
the
Like, and I
T-Rex?
was like,
yeah. I think. I mean, unless they moved them. The last time I read something that said they were still at the Field Museum in
Yeah,
Chicago.
it says they're still there. So
Yeah, like now, like I'm just like this is like my few minor excuse to go back. Like I want to see Sue again, but like I would go back knowing this to see that. Like, hey,
Yeah, it's interesting. And to be honest, fun fact, like I said, I hadn't seen this movie in so long. I completely forgot that the name of this movie is The Name of the Lions.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
Oh,
That the name, yep. I was just thought it was a cool title. Like, nope, that's what they named the Lions. I'm like, oh.
That's what I thought. I was like, what the fuck is this movie about? And then they said, oh, there's the name drop.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really interesting story. I actually want to read. I kind of want to read John Henry Patterson's book. I know it's going to be a hard read because it is a book from like 1907, and it's just going to be
But it's
a
probably
difficult
this
one.
big.
And yeah, the letter. Yeah, I'm just going to be like, I don't even need glasses, but I think I need glasses.
Yeah.
I want to do the same for the original, the book that inspired the thing. Who Goes There?
Oh, yeah.
1911,
That'd be
1912.
interesting. Yep.
That'd be a good one to read.
I also want to check out the Bawa Devil, the original movie.
Yeah,
that-
it's on YouTube.
Oh, all right.
Sweet.
Can we consider it a monster movie, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. Killer animal movies count.
All right, put it on the wheel. Put it on the wheel.
All right, sounds good.
That'd be pretty
Put it on the
interesting
wheel.
if we
Well,
covered
I'm not
both
doing it right this
movies.
second.
No, do it later.
It's
Mental note that we'll all forget about later.
Shit, yes.
Absolutely.
My mental capacities are yeah.
This was a crazy production. Val Kilmer was coming off of The Island of Dr. Moreau, which was a troubled production itself. He was interesting during that production, and so coming right off of that to do this movie, which literally the director's like, we felt really bad because we wrote this movie to have him on screen pretty much every second.
And he was going through a divorce as well.
Yeah,
so,
he was going through a lot.
like, yeah.
And
Dude, give him, like a week at least.
And so I guess there was they just had a lot of issues. I got to try to find the quote from there's a quote from Stephen Hawking's. He said, "We had snake bites, scorpion bites, tick bite fever, people getting hit by lightning, floods, torrential rains and lightning storms, hippos chasing people through the water, cars getting swept into the water, and several deaths of crew members, including 2 drownings." Goddamn, that's
Yep.
Yeah.
wow.
I did not know that.
He continues
Yeah.
with, Val came in to set under the worst conditions imaginable. He was completely exhausted from doing The Island of Dr. Moreau. He was dealing with the unfavorable publicity from that set. He was going through a divorce. He barely had time to get his teeth into this role before we started. And he is in nearly every scene of this movie. But I worked him 6 or 7 days a week for 4 months under really adverse conditions, and he really came through. He had a passion for this film. Val Kilmer personally wanted to do this movie because he had visited Africa before, and he fell in love with it. And actually, even after this movie, he would go to Africa all the time. He even mentions it in a bunch of interviews on like David Letterman and Jay Leno and all that stuff about like his passion for Africa. And so he really wanted to do this movie. And to be honest, when you're watching it, you could tell it's not like the most energetic Val Kilmer we've seen on film.
Yeah.
But I think it fits for what this character is supposed to be. And it definitely doesn't look like he's not having a good time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he just phoned it in.
Yeah, 100%. And it's kind of why I picked it, because I think it's an underrated performance from him. You know, I think when people think of this movie, they think of Val Kilmer, but I think Michael Douglas's character, people probably think of more, I would say, even though he's not in the movie very long, or they just don't talk
Makes
about
a
this movie at all.
For the most part.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like it's Michael Douglas just being weird as hell, and like it's hard to forget that performance. But like when you take into account everything that you just said that Val Kilmer was going through, and then see his performance in this movie, it's like it may not be his best, but like it could have been his worst, and it's clearly not.
Oh, absolutely. This movie was filmed entirely in South Africa.
Yep.
The music was done by Jerry Goldsmith. We've talked about him many times. He did the music for Gremlins, Alien,
Oh,
and The Mummy. Oh, and he was all, I didn't even notice this in all the times we've talked about him. He composed the current fanfare for the Universal Pictures logo, which first debuted in front of the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Sweet.
So that
Wow.
iconic Universal music. Did not know that.
I had no
We've covered
idea.
many movies
Nope.
with him. Yeah.
Yep.
And there are so many other sounds in his music that you hear from other movies. And
Oh, yeah.
they had to have taken it from him,
Oh, 100%. I mean,
because there's a couple of times I'm like, Scar's music is starting to play, and then I'm like, oh, this sounds like Godzilla's starting to play. I'm
did you
like,
say did you say Scar? Like
Yeah.
from The Lion King? He didn't do The Lion
the
King.
beginning? No,
Oh, you're just saying that his. Oh, okay.
it
I
sounded
get what you're saying.
like, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Didn't Lion
there's a
King come out
couple-
like a year before this movie too?
So this came out in
Couple.
96. Lion King came out in 94.
Oh, okay.
Well, then
Oh, not
maybe
too
he
far
just
away.
listened to their music.
Probably did.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I love Hans Zimmer's score in Lion King. This ran at 110 minutes. It had a budget of $55 million and made $87 million at the box office. So it made over its budget, but it didn't do great. It also had mixed reviews, but whatever. I don't care. What's going on, everybody? It is Parker here to tell you about an amazing event called Live Stream for the Cure. Since 2017, this event has raised over $100,000 for cancer research and to make the world immune to cancer. So join us Friday, May 16th from 4 p.m. to midnight and Saturday, May 17th from 8 a.m. to midnight as we try to raise money for an awesome cause. And if you want to see Dissect That Film and what they're going to be doing for their segment, make sure to join us on Saturday, May 17th at 12 p.m. for whatever shenanigans are about to happen. So please join us for another awesome year of Live Stream for the Cure, 9 years running. See you then. I think it's time we hop into the plot of The Ghost in the Darkness. What do you all say?
Peace.
All right.
Yes,
Let's do
sir.
this thing. All right. It is time to dissect
Dissect
that
Boom!
film. that one sounded better than usually, as where it just cuts out the entirety of
I tried
what
to-
you're doing.
I tried to bring it down.
You tried that last time and it still didn't work.
I hand wrote my notes this week. Will it be good or will it be bad? I don't know. Depends on how well my handwriting is this week.
We'll
I
find out.
can't read my own handwriting.
That does happen. But I hate looking at my phone with notes, so I like
Yeah.
writing it. The movie opens in London in 1898, and we hear Samuel's voice as he narrates the opening about the Tsavo legend and the legend of John Patterson. And it's just so, makes him sound so epic as he's like walking down the hallway, and you just have Samuel's narration going on behind him. You're just expecting something different. It's like, oh no, it's just Val Kilmer with a haircut that's questionable if that's actually something a guy would have had in 1898. He had frosted tips, man. Like, I feel like they're like, we need to change your hairstyle, Mr. Kilmer. And he's like, no,
No.
either it's this or
my
nothing.
hair.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Okay, we'll just
All
shave it
right,
off.
sure. Sorry.
I love hearing Samuel talk though, because he does the voice of Rafiki in the 2019 Lion King.
Yes. And he is also, was it, what?
T'Chaka,
T'Challa's,
I think is
T'Chaka
the dad.
from Black Panther. Yeah, he's the dad.
Yes.
He's T'Challa's dad. Words.
I just love hearing him talk though. He's
Yes.
another Idris
I
Elba.
love his voice. I love his voice.
Keep speaking, sir.
And he is great in this movie as we continue. But we meet probably the worst character in this movie, and that is Mr. Beaumont, played
Sucks
by...
ass.
What up,
Actually, I didn't go through the cast, so I'll just talk about him when we
Both
get
of these
to him.
actors have been in Batman movies.
Yes, Tom Wilkinson was in Batman Begins in 2005, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, which is absolutely mind-fucking-blowing.
That is
Mind
crazy.
fucking.
Yes. It's been 20 years since I saw that movie in theater,
Jesus
and it's probably
Christ.
one of the best movie theater experiences of my life. I digress. Tom Wilkinson, fantastic actor. This character sucks ass. And not sucks ass like he's doing a bad job. Sucks ass like this character just sucks. He is
He
an
needs to be
asshole.
punched.
But the
Really
funny thing is he admits that he's an asshole.
Yeah, he knows he is.
Oh yeah. He's just like, you do your
Somehow
job.
makes it worse.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, you do
Yeah.
your job, and we're not gonna have a problem. But if there's any hiccups, you're gonna learn to hate me, and that's a line that would come back later. And I'm like, God damn. It like started off so well, and I just love that Val Kilmer's just sitting there the entire time, like, all right, this guy is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I love when he's about to leave. He's like, do you have any more encouraging words for me before I go?
Yeah.
It's like, dick. I wanted him to say that as he walked out, like, piece of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're building a major railroad in Africa, and they are hiring Patterson to build a bridge across the river because that is his forte. He is a bridge builder. So he's tasked to build this bridge over the River Tsavo in 5 months. And I'm going, yeah, fucking right, dude. This is 1898. There's no way. He's like, I always tell my wife, my wife is 6 months pregnant with my child. And, I always tell her, I'm going to be there on time. And I'm a man of my word. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Which isn't true. He doesn't make it back for the baby's birth.
No. It's not because he can't build he can't build the bridge because of the issue, but it's like, I love as much as this dude sucks, I love Tom Wilkinson. He's like, wow, that's a great start. I don't know why you told me, because I don't give a shit about your new litter coming. And I was like, oh, damn. This is the boss you see nowadays, and you're like, I don't want this job. Like, I don't want this job. So yeah, we meet his wife. It just doesn't really lead to anything other than it's just a sad goodbye.
Bye, wife.
Because they're not going to see each other. Because it's go play with kitty cats. Oh, so yeah, we're now in Africa, and we meet Angus Starling, who is played by Brian McCarty. I'm trying to see if I recognize him from anything, but
nothing jumped out at me.
A big old
Speed 2.
There it is. Speed 2. I knew it was something there.
That's about the only thing I recognized.
Only way you could go is up from this movie, and he landed at Speed 2.
He was in Rob Roy. That's actually a pretty good movie. Yeah.
Oh, he's in Snatch. Oh, that's the TV series. Fuck.
Oh, yeah. The movie's great. I love the movie.
The movie's good.
But yeah, he plays Angus Starling, and he's a funny guy. You don't know he's a missionary at first until like later on when he's talking about converting people. But he's like, we got the best seat in the house on this train ride, and that is literally sitting in front of the engine. And
so hot.
That's awful. That just sounds like a bad time. But the thing is these trains don't move very fast, so it's not like you're sitting there like, like the wind is just like ripping your eyelids off.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I was like, that's got to be unbelievably hot. Like, that's the boiler.
I mean, it's like, also Africa. It's probably just hot, period.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But it's probably not.
I could feel the heat through my TV.
Yeah.
It's like, I assume that part of Africa is like what I've been told by people who live in like Phoenix, because like it's hot, but then when you're in the shade, it actually is cool. It's not like here where there's the humidity just it's hot everywhere.
Well, just remember this is supposed to be Kenya, not.
Can you believe it?
Oh, but
I don't think they have much tree cover.
There's some trees. They climb in several.
Yeah, but it's like usually in like one spot.
No.
Also, I'm not climbing trees in Africa. There's jaguars up there.
Yeah, I ain't climbing trees.
Dude,
nowhere over there.
There's shit here. Like, I worry about it here going outside. I'm not worried about the fucking bears.
You're worried about are you worried about the cougars or the
Panthers?
Panthers, cougars, pumas. They're all the fucking same.
Yeah, kind of.
They're
big cats.
They're all the big kitty.
They're big cats and they're scary. It's the hogs and the big cats is the things that worry
Hogs
me.
are freaking scary.
It's good. Yeah, they'll fuck you up.
They can run.
They'll kill you 3 times before you hit the ground. I'm sorry, I gotta squeeze that in whenever I can.
It just reminds me of the scene from Anaconda where the fucking Owen Wilson, that chick, are getting it on in the woods. And you think it's an anaconda going after him, but then it turns out it's a hog because Sharon kills him. Don't worry, baby bird. I got that hog for you.
Just licks this hairy ass dead hog.
Nope, you gotta.
What now?
You gotta.
Oh,
Hey, Roy!
Roy, you're behind another month's rent.
Oh gosh.
No, I was just stupidly, Angela could attest, was at a pretty big hike Friday, and I'm still feeling it because we had
talking about it.
It was about 8 miles.
Ooh, wow, that's
to and fro, like together. It's about just under 8 miles to and fro, about 2,500 feet of elevation change.
This was his boss's
It's beautiful.
pick.
It's 105 feet. The waterfall. It's
Still,
Ramsey's Cascade.
it was the fact that Brandon picked that for your first time.
That's right. We're all hurting. It's fine. It's fine. I just told him next time let's do something a little easier. Let me work into it a little bit.
What? You're
You got
already
it.
worked up. What are you talking about? You already did it. So now you can do something even more difficult.
Yeah.
Listen,
Or do the
spirit
same
is
one again.
willing. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is bruised and spongy.
I smell flesh and blood in here. Can't be good.
Aw.
But as on the train ride, John gives some notes to Angus about the animals. They see what did they see? Giraffes. What was the note he says about them? Oh, they only sleep 4 minutes a day. I don't know if that's
I don't know how
true.
accurate that is.
Hey,
I
Angela,
don't know.
look up and see if giraffes actually sleep for 4 hours a day.
But it
Or
is
4
cool to
minutes a
watch
day.
them drink water.
It is cool. Where they have to spread their legs super wide
Well,
to like get
but
down
they
there.
have like a really
They got a really long
I
tongue.
think it's their top lip that's like really long. So when they get done with it, they have to like do this to get all the water off. So it looks like they're headbanging.
Yep.
It's funny.
This is when movies were made where you actually enjoy a landscape and you know it's an actual landscape instead of it being like,
Oh yeah.
you want to see this green screen? Fuck you,
Yep.
Craven the Hunter, you piece of shit movie. You want to see this beautiful African landscape that's just green screen garbage? Shut up.
Okay, so giraffes have evolved to sleep for as little as 30 minutes a day.
Okay, it's a little
But they
longer
can go much
than
longer
what
if needed.
he was stating, but all right.
Well, maybe they've evolved since 1890.
I
Whatever,
don't think it's
when
that
they're-
fast.
Yeah.
I think he's full of shit.
Probably.
I probably should have wrote down what he was stating. All I put was notes on giraffes, hyenas, and hippos. All I know is the hippo one was they fart out of their mouth.
I don't think that's true.
Probably not. What about
The
what
The
was that they
hyena
had?
ones, I think the females
Are
were
bigger than the males, which is
think.
which
Yeah,
is
that is correct.
the majority of animal species in Africa.
Yeah.
Why didn't he go into detail on hyenas? They have some really crappy birth.
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh, do tell.
They good.
Hang on. I'm looking up the hippo one.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. All in.
Hippos fart through their mouths because their stomachs are at the front of their bodies. It also means that hippo sounds are actually farting.
But like our stomach's like what kind of halfway-ish? Like, so why can't I?
That's
I guess
what
that's the
burp is.
belch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Apparently
yeah.
they can't.
Blah.
They still smell. So
It just makes me think of the episode of South Park where they eat through their butt. I'm sorry, that's just what I think of. When they eat through their butt and then
Shit
they
out their
throw,
mouth.
they poop mouth. Yeah, but it's better for them. It's more because they process
Nutrition.
the nutrients better. Yeah, it's so like
I don't understand
Don't they-
how that works, but sure.
don't they have like a
Wait,
like
I need
a
this one.
females have almost like a clitoral thing that they birth out of. It's almost like a penis, but it's
Yeah,
not.
it hangs down like a penis, and
That's what they birth out of.
That sounds
Right.
awful.
Could you
Interesting.
imagine birthing out of your penis?
It
the
makes me
worst
think of that
kidney
Arnold
stone of all time.
Schwarzenegger movie
Oh, twin.
where he's
Or,
carrying a baby.
Not twins.
Oh,
Fuck, what is it called? Junior.
Junior, yeah.
Oh yeah.
that's
I don't
not what
like
I
that
thought
movie.
of.
I'm not a fan of that one.
I thought you were talking
I
about.
don't know a lot of people that
Kindergarten
are.
Cop.
Twins is good. Kindergarten Cop is good.
Yeah.
Not the
Not Junior. Not Junior.
It's not a tumor.
That's the one that Ivan Reitman should have stopped and went, "Do we actually make this movie? Maybe we shouldn't."
But
Yeah.
if that's where that is,
Mhm.
and
All right.
how did they get pregnant?
Moving on.
I don't. It's called docking.
So we make it to Tsavo, and John meets Samuel, and he's awesome. He's
Samuel's dope as fuck.
yeah, he's the guy who like
He's so good in this
keeps
movie.
control over the all the people that are working on the bridge. I love how he goes through and he's like, yeah, none of the workers like each other because there's like a bunch of different religions and just people from different countries. Like there was like I love where he's just like, the Africans don't like the Indians don't like the Africans, but they also don't like other Indians. It's it's just a lot of camaraderie there. Just not good.
It's the same shit we deal with here. It's everywhere. People find any reason possible to hate somebody fucking else.
Yeah.
It's just how it works.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny. And we get this awesome panning shot of the entire camp. And I was like, why don't we do this anymore? This is real. Like this is just no effects work here. It's just real. Damn you, Craven. Why did I watch that movie?
It's not just Craven. It's a lot of movies.
It's a lot of movies. But I'm gonna point out Craven because Craven it's a movie with lions in it.
And it blows my mind that everybody's like, what's just CG these panning shots or whatever, or these overheads?
Do we have green screens? Stupid bullshit.
So much. Yeah, but we have so much accessibility to drones now. You don't even need helicopters to get those shots.
It's because nothing is filmed on location anymore.
Bunch of fucking cowards.
Which, like, they could just reach out to a film crew in Africa. They don't even need to fly there themselves and just say, hey, do a panning shot of this region, send us the footage, we give you money, here you go. They won't even do that. Like, it's just insane.
So, as I said, a lot of hostility between the workers. He gets there and he's like, ooh, this bridge might be a little bit more difficult than I was expecting it to be. Thought we were going to be a little bit farther. And also Samuel was talking about how like they're building the railroad on the other side, and like every day they're doing like 2 miles a day. And like by the time
a lot.
Yeah. So like all that extra help is going to be gone, like long gone before they even get across the river. So they go to the hospital and they meet Dr. David Hawthorne, who at first I thought was the guy from Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name. He was in The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, but it's actually Captain Smith from Titanic, Bernard Hill, who just passed away last year. They look very similar. I can't remember the name of the other actor, but I was like, oh yeah, it's Captain Smith, and he's joyous. He's really happy to be there.
Hold on. He's what? King Theoden. You know that little Lord of the Rings series that nobody's ever seen, Parker?
Yeah. Talk about that. Talk about the series I've glossed over. Seen. Yeah, I am going to gloss over it.
No, you're good.
Fucking care.
I thought he looked familiar.
I will care when we talk about them. I don't care right now.
That's right. It's fine. I was seeing him. I was like, "Who is this?"
Don't worry.
Familiar?
You called me out before the comments, or somebody messages me and be like, "How dare you not mention Lord of the Rings?" He was on Lord of the Rings.
I'm just looking out for you and them.
I'm not attacking Lord of the Rings fans. I'm just attacking certain Lord of the Rings fans. All right.
Well, they're just generally they're just pieces of shit.
He's just targeting you.
I'm just kidding.
Let's see our numbers completely fall. It's like we liked the show at one point, and then they started talking shit.
Is
Lord of the Rings fans.
Liam Cunningham that you're talking about?
That's who I'm thinking of. That's why I originally thought this was, and I was like, "Oh,
they do look a lot alike."
They do.
Especially Bernard Hill when he's like, I mean, he's not really young here, but he's younger. This is a year before Titanic, so and it looks drastically different. I mean, they had to make him look like Captain Smith for Titanic, but
they did a good job.
Yeah. So yeah, he's not
segue from your comment.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I'm fine. I'm done flaming the audience for now. I'll think of something else later.
Of course.
Yeah, he's not overly excited about being there because he doesn't really want the bridge to happen. He doesn't want the railroad to happen because he's like, all this is going to do is benefit the ivory trade, which is legit why. Wrong. No, it's not. Or no, he's not. He just, I mean, that's 100% what this was used for, and it sucks because it wiped out so many animals, causing certain animals to become extinct in the time period between when this movie takes place and today. I mean, we lost like 3 or 4 different species of rhino, a huge amount of African elephants. I think hippos are the only ones that still have a stable population because they're fucking psychos and they actually are able to defend themselves, and they can't swim. Did you know that? Fun fact about hippos: they actually can't swim.
Sink.
They sink and
they
they
sink.
walk along the bottom of the water. Yep.
They kill more people than sharks every year.
They sure do. I've seen plenty of
Yep, they
videos.
They don't
dude,
kill any sharks at all. I have never seen one kill a shark.
They'll find a fucking way. They'll find a way.
I'm waiting for a shark to just find its way into the Nile River. A fucking bull shark who's like, I'm a fucking bull shark. The hippo's like, you're a bitch.
Bull shark too.
Tosses his ass.
Dude, that'd be so good. That'd be fucking sweet.
And I've watched so many videos of people like taking airboat trips down like rivers in Africa and hippos just going after them. I'm like, nope. Drop me in a water with like 5 great whites circling around. I feel safer in that situation than being anywhere near a hippo.
I'm trying to figure out what's worse. Is it
What's
Africa or Australia? It's like Australia, like Africa Part 2.
Well, Africa's also
Because,
way
like-
bigger than Australia. There's a lot more area there. I mean, Australia is terrifying. There's a lot of dangerous animals and
Yeah, Australia
They're
has like a
having
lot of
shoes.
critters too, though, right? Like the
Yeah.
spiders and snakes and whatnot.
Well, so does
like I
Africa.
feel like it's different. Like so does Africa, but I feel like Australia is more known for like their spiders and shit like that, which is even just as terrifying because they're smaller, right? Like you never know fucking where they are.
yeah.
At least
they
with a
hide in
hippo, you can
shoes.
kind of
And
see it
Austra-
coming.
but Australia is very similar to like, you know, the US or like, you know, Canada, where it's like a lot of it's got more of a population. Like you have, you know, your
Right.
cities and stuff, where like Africa, it's like there's vast lands where there's like you have like maybe tribes, like African tribes that are used to these things, and even they're still getting attacked and killed by hippos and crocs and snakes and all that stuff. Where, you know, I could go upstairs and if I lived in Australia, I'd have to check my shoes before I put it on because there could be a black widow in my shoe, or there could be like they have like the most venomous snake in Australia. I'm like, no,
They do. They have the
And
most
don't
venomous
pick up
everything.
the shells on the beach
They have the most venomous
because you might get
octopus,
something in your ear.
the only venomous mammal, the most venomous snake, the most venomous spider, the most like the worst fucking plant ever imaginable I've ever heard of just the other day. Have you heard of it? There's a plant that's covered in spikes. It is from, I think, Northeast Australia, and it's got little spines and stuff all over it. And apparently it is the most excruciating pain you could get from a plant, to the point that people have killed themselves because it doesn't go away. Because the plant spines or bristles are made of silica, and your body doesn't
Wonder the
process or
British
break
used it
down
as a
silica.
prison colony.
No shit. Like, who lives there? Like, I had to be born there, and there's no way out. Like, I can't leave.
Yeah.
Such pretty plants, though.
They
Listen,
also have
however-
they also have a jellyfish that if it stings you, you're dead.
Yeah, there's the box jellyfish, which is, even though we technically have the other one around, what is the one around Hawaii? Urakanji. They thought it was a syndrome, like an illness, but it's a tiny fucking jellyfish, smaller than a box jellyfish, and it will fuck you up. They got blue-ringed octopus. They're like this fucking big, and you step on them and die from those bitches too.
Don't they have the rockfish too?
I think so. They got the cone snail, Conus papyraceus. You know,
We could just keep going about how terrifying Australia is.
Yeah.
I still
But
want to go
don't-
there someday. I still want to visit.
Oh, I do
still
too.
wanna go,
Same.
but
I do too.
yeah.
But actually,
it's
like,
definitely a place
at
you
least-
don't just like jump into a river because you will get eaten by a saltwater crocodile because they are the most like one of the most aggressive animals on the planet.
same with the eastern browns. They're everywhere and they're incredibly venomous.
yeah. So Australia,
Fun times.
we love you guys. We love all the
We do.
Australian listeners. But your country, terrifying in a different way than like the U.S. for example.
I want to go to New Zealand. They have
different ways.
dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's go
They
there.
have kiwis. They're dinosaurs.
Yes. I want to go to Tasmania. Seems like a cool
That'd be
place.
sweet.
They're trying to
I can
reintroduce
get
the
What now?
Tasmanian tiger. They're trying to bring that back.
That'd be sweet.
There's like
But
6
that's-
Jurassic Park movies as to why we shouldn't bring back dead animals, people. Like, let's just
Exactly.
stop while we're ahead.
We
Because
already
we know
did
that's
it.
the next step. Because they've already done it with wolves, and it's like now we're like, oh well, you know, what if we just brought back a T-Rex, guys? What if we just did that? They're already trying to bring back woolly mammoths. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do with a woolly mammoth on Earth? How is that gonna help us in any way, shape, or form?
Go look at it and touch it.
There's certain animals that I'm
That's the
actually
thing, right?
I'm
Like,
actually okay
ugh.
with. If I'm actually okay with like the Tasmanian tiger coming back because they were wiped out because of hunting. Like they were just overhunted
Right, during
and,
our time.
and wiped out. And actually it's their extinction has caused like a huge like change in the ecosystem where like animals that they were actually keeping under control are now out of control.
Right.
And so that's why they want to bring that back. But like the woolly mammoth, I'm like, why? Like, what are we doing with
why?
them? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. My curiosity is going to be like, I would love to see one. We know it's not going to actually be a legit one, just like the dire wolves. They're not actually wolves. They're not going to be actual dire wolves. Like, it's not the ones that were extinct 10,000 years ago. Yeah. But once you start going, hey, we found dinosaur DNA, I'd be like, I have a movie. Let me show you. Let me show you why this is wrong. Let me, I got a book. Let me show you why that's a bad idea.
He's nothing but theme park monsters.
Yeah, nothing more, nothing less. All right.
Speaking of zoos, actually, they said the lion scenes, some of the lion scenes in this movie were filmed in the Bowmanville Zoo, which is about 4 hours away from here.
That's cool.
Sweet.
I know that some of the lions were actually used for George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The majority of the lions in this movie are actually real lions. All of the fake lions or the animatronic lions were done by Stan Winston, or at least his studio. So, to be honest, there was one shot of the animatronic lion in a scene we'll talk about a little later that actually looked like the same lion from Jumanji. I was like, did they just repurpose that one? I mean, that one is a little outdated, but still looked pretty good. I mean, that came out the same. Yeah, Jumanji came out in 96. No, 95. Aha, Jumanji 95. I know we're covering it here. Where am I? We got so lost in talking about animals. We haven't even talked about this movie in a while. Oh, he mentions to John, the doctor mentions to John about how one of his orderlies got attacked by a man-eater. And the guy comes in, and he's all bit up. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to go hunt it then. And they're like, okay. So he goes hunting. Angus joins him, and he won't shut the fuck up. He literally was like, if you're going to come with me, you're going to need to be quiet. And the entire time he is just talking. He's like, I'm sitting here on this branch and I'm very uncomfortable. And the pain is increasing by the minute. And John Patterson is super chill the whole time. He's just like, well, you're just going to have to get used to it. I would have been like, can you just shut the fuck up, man? Shut the fuck up. Trying to hunt a lion here, idiot.
Push him out of the tree.
I mean, he pretty much does, because the dude passes out. He shoots the lion, and the guy, he falls out of the tree, and then he looks at it and the lion's dead, and he's like, one shot, holy shit. He doesn't say that, but it's pretty much, that's what I would have said.
Yeah.
So he gets nicknamed One Shot, and everybody's like, yay, we're safe, and they're all celebrating. It's a good day. So they then, the next day, they're planning steps on building the bridge, and he gets with Angus, and he's like, okay, you have 4 weeks to lay the foundation pillars, which is literally the pillars that go on both sides of the bridge to kind of help keep the bridge stable on the sides. And then I guess you got to put one in the middle, right? They got to like go across.
Yeah.
4 weeks in 1898. This dude's crazy. I'm with Angus here. I'm like, that's not possible. Like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, well, you just got to make it work. And I love the guy. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but Hina, played by Henry Selly. He's the guy who's like, I killed a lion. I've killed a lion before. He's like, oh yeah, how many shots? It probably wasn't one shot, right? And he's like, I did it with my bare hands.
Yeah.
That dude's
the guy's
that
like,
guy was awesome.
The guy's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's cool. Unfortunately, he doesn't last.
Nope.
And we get this shot many times in the movie where they pan out to the long grass as it's blowing in the wind. I swear to God, they use this one shot. The long grass. Oh God, this is damn it. I knew it was going to come up when I wrote that note.
I already tried to make one earlier, but you cut me off. So
did on purpose.
Okay.
Actually, I have no idea where I did that. I'm sorry.
it was the cone shell. Sassy cone shell, Cotus papyrasis, you know. Well, you got an antidote? What, you shot yourself in the foot? Don't do that. You'd be dead before you realize you made a mistake.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yep.
Actor's not dead. This character. 7 weeks later, the bridge is coming together. Everything looks like it's going according to plan, but something's in the long grass. The long grass! And John is given a necklace with the claws of the lion he has killed. And he's writing a letter to his wife about all the wonderful things that are going on here in Africa. And then that night, everyone's sleeping. And our boy, Mahina, is our first victim of the lions. Because he gets
Such bullshit.
He gets grabbed and he is dragged out. And this scene goes on for a while. And you know what they scream? The other like the other workers that are there that actually see it happen. Simba. Because it means a large lion.
Yep.
Never knew that.
Lion.
Oh.
It's Swahili for big lion, I think.
But it's
lion.
Simba Kubwa is large lion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only heard Simba, and my subtitles only said Simba. So I was like, oh, yeah. And he's taken out and he is killed. And then the next day, Patterson finds his body getting torn to shreds by the vultures, and they show it too. And I was like, damn, this is
pretty good,
dude. It's a good little dummy effect there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they bring the body back to the doctor, and he's looking it over, and he's like, this is not what lions do. This lion was like tore like certain parts of his body apart. Like he said he literally, like, the lion ripped into the body in order to drink his blood and then started eating him from his feet up. I was like, he's like, that's not normal lion behavior. But everybody's just kind of like, especially John, because he's not from here. He's just like, it's a lion attack. I guess I got to go hunt the lion.
Bunch of bitch ass lions, dude.
Yeah. So
Got that first taste of blood. Now he's back for more.
yeah. And there's another victim. And so after another person gets killed, they're like, the workers are like, nope. And there's this guy named Abdullah, played by Puri. And I recognize him from something. Like, his face just seemed very familiar, but he's done a lot of like Bollywood movies or just Indian movies. Didn't really recognize anything other than this. He kind of reminds me of he was in Gladiator. He was like, God, I can't remember his name. I'm blanking on his name. He died literally while making Gladiator, this actor, because he drank himself to death.
Right.
He just reminded me, the face kind of reminded me of him. I knew it wasn't him, but they looked very familiar. So nobody wants to do work. There's actually people threatening to leave. And John's just trying to keep order and trying to like hype him up to be like, listen, it's just a weird coincidence. I'm going to get the lion. Everybody's going to be safe. Don't you worry about it. We're just going to build a fence around your camps so that, no more incidents will happen.
Yeah, they use like the thorny bramble bushes or whatever.
They got to like tie them up and stuff. And Starling is in there. He's helping out. He's like tying them all up, and he
cut up by him.
Yeah. Yeah. He really likes the blood.
He likes blood.
He's like, is that weird? And John's like, no. But yet Samuel's like, yes, that's very weird.
Dude, I love like around the fire with Samuel is like some of my favorite parts of this movie.
Oh,
because they just rip into one another.
His first big comment.
Yeah,
that was great.
So
I have a couple of things that he says. It's great because he talks about, because Starling, you figure out that he's kind of like a missionary. He's there to help John, but he's also there to try to convert the workers, I'm guessing, to Christianity. I don't really. Does he mention what it is?
Well, he said Bible,
Irish. So. Okay, so Irish,
Catholic?
so it'd be Catholic, right? Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I'm not religious, so I don't.
I'm guessing.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. I forgot he was Irish.
Yeah.
He had a better Irish accent than Val Kilmer was attempting. Val Kilmer was trying real hard to be Irish because John Patterson was actually Irish. It did not work.
You can hear him a couple of times.
It did not work.
Tries. Like,
it gets to the point where it gets to the point where when you're just doing a movie, like, you don't have to sound exactly like what the guy may have sounded like. Like, just do you, man. Like,
your best, dude.
The guy who played Angus was actually Irish, so like that's his actual voice. So it's fine. Just don't. You're trying too hard. But he's like, I'm done trying to convert Africa. My goal is to convert. He talks to John and Samuel, and John's like, I'm too far past being converted. And Samuel just goes, I have 4 wives.
I don't like any of them.
Oh, that's the next one.
Yeah.
Where he gets his letter from John gets a letter from his wife, and he's reading it, and he's got a big smile on his face, and he's just like, do you like your wife? He's like, oh yes, very much. I love her very much. He's like, lucky. I don't like any of mine.
Probably why he's
That
away
line
working
delivery
all the
was
time.
so
It's
good.
so good because his face is just sad. Just I don't like any of them. Oh, and yeah, it's broad daylight, and everybody's working, and one of the lions just shows up and just attacks in broad daylight, and it's just like, what the fuck? Which, I mean, lions do hunt during the day, but not when there's a shit ton of other people around. Like, that's how ballsy these lions, you know, how ballsy they are.
Well, and primarily, if and I know these two are kind of a special case, but primarily, if I remember, is it the females usually do the hunting?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's why after they were killed, they were studied for a long time. I know that for a while, Patterson himself had the skins and the bones of the lions. And then eventually he ended up giving them both to the Field Museum in Chicago, and they were able to kind of study like maybe there must have been some sort of, there was like hypothesis because they didn't really deep dive into the, like their brains, because like nowadays if like an animal goes crazy, right, you could like study their brain and see if there's like some sort of abnormality there, you know, because these lions are technically rogue. Just like the shark in Jaws is technically a rogue shark. And there's always usually some sort of, you know, their brain chemistry is just not what it's supposed to be like. And they think there was some sort of parasite actually affecting their brain to make them do this.
Could do.
But yeah, I mean, in reality, the females are the hunters and the males are just the ones who make babies and then eat them if they feel threatened. Lions are weird, man. Lions are weird.
And he didn't give them to the Field Museum. He sold them for $5,000.
That's right. I did read that. Thank you for correcting me there.
Like the 20s?
He ain't getting away with no money.
He's like, you know how hard this was? I ain't giving these away for free. But yeah, it attacks a bunch of people, and then it's like him, Angus, and Samuel are hunting them, and they find the one eating one of the guys that had attacked. But this is before they realize that there's two, because one is actually on the roof of like the station house, and it jumps down and it gets John, but you don't know that Angus is behind him, and Angus gets like the full brunt of it and fucking tears out his throat, and he did. R.I.P. Angus. So this is when we hear the names of the lions. The workers have named them the Ghost and the Darkness, and Samuel in his narration talks about how everybody has their own kind of legend of what these lions really are. Like they're not lions; they're either like the devil or just evil incarnate, or one of them was resurrected witch doctors who were out to rid the white people from taking over Africa. Or one of them, or maybe it was just lions that were just trying to prevent the white people from taking over Africa. It was something in that vein. It was like everyone had their own feeling on what these lions were actually about. And you also find out what Tsavo means. It means place of slaughter, which is just a pleasant name. Where do you want to live? I want to live in place of slaughter. Sounds like a good time.
Or where are you from? Oh,
place of slaughter.
You stay over there.
It's really nice in the summer.
Absolutely.
The blood dries up real fast. You don't even need to worry about it.
There might be a big cat problem, but we're trying to take care of it. Don't you worry. Mm-hmm. Just stay in your shed. So
yeah, new to your pets, kids.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Thank you.
So the workers want to quit again. And, this is when Beaumont shows up. And he's just like, he's talking to Abdullah and he's like, listen, man, you got to get them to work. Like, you got to get them to stay and work because they're going to listen to you over listening to me. And he's like, well, you do realize you're the issue. Like, everyone thinks you're the reason that this is happening. He's like, yeah, whatever. And Beaumont shows up and he is a fucking pleasant man, as we saw earlier in the movie. So he's trying to explain to Beaumont like what's going on. And Beaumont just doesn't give a shit. And he literally tells him, he's like, they've killed 30 people. And he's like, what? But then later he's like, I don't care about you, and I don't care about the 30 dead people. And I went, excuse me? What the fuck?
Doesn't give a fuck.
Well,
Dead
It's all
people aren't going to
numbers,
build
dude.
your bridge, bitch.
Yeah.
mean-
Is this the scene where he goes into the
He shows him the contraption.
hospital?
Oh,
Well, he goes
yes.
into
And he's
the
like,
hospital.
there's nothing wrong with
There's
these
nothing
people.
wrong with them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he's like talking to Samuel, and Samuel says something to him. He's like, in English. And I'm like, just please punch him really hard.
Yeah, because he's like explaining like who they are. He mentions like, it's the ghost in the darkness, and he's just like, in English, dude. Like,
Just
and
punch him.
yeah, because John mentions the fact, he's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with them other than they're scared. Like this is based in fear. They're afraid to go outside because it doesn't matter
They're
if it's
allowed to be.
day or night. These lions are coming. And yeah, he mentions the 30 people. He shows him his contraption, which is like a stage car that's like, it's got like a cage on one side and a tripwire that shuts a door and all that stuff. And
Yep.
he like, and Beaumont is listening to this, and you think he's like on his side, and he's like, have you lost your mind? You got like some sort of fever going on? Like you're nuts. Like just build the goddamn bridge like you're supposed to. And he's like, all right, whatever you say, man. He's like, I'm going to give you one more opportunity. And I'm also going to call this guy named Remington in. It's actually Pierce Brosnan comes in. It's just Remington Steele.
Yes, has to be.
Imagine if Pierce Brosnan was in this. Oh my God. That would have been like, fuck, get out of here,
Very
Michael.
interesting.
Get out of here, Michael Douglas. I mean, to be honest, he
I
could
definitely
have
watched it.
played Val Kilmer's part. I think he
Yeah.
actually is Irish. So
I don't know. He good looking.
he sure is, even to this day. So he gets his last chance to continue with the bridge. There's more deaths, and he then grabs a bunch of guys who I guess are like former criminals and stuff that he's going to teach them to like shoot, and they're going to camp out in the contraption.
Probably poachers.
So
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. I was looking up to see when
Yeah.
that was.
He's like,
started
you're
to be illegal.
you're murderers and criminals, and that's a good thing, like for this situation.
Yeah.
And it turns into the biggest clusterfuck I've ever seen.
Useless, absolutely useless individuals.
They're there. They're waiting.
They should have been wearing white. Just saying.
Mm. They're sitting in this car and they're waiting, and the lion shows up and trips the trap. And none of these guys go anywhere close to the front of that car to actually get a shot on this lion.
No.
They constantly hit the bars. The lion has the strength of fucking 12 lions because it's literally shaking the shit out of these thick ass beams that are, bolted to the ceiling. These guys are terrified. They're just sitting there, just like shooting their guns,
Then when
not
the
aiming.
lion roars.
Not yeah, and like it's obviously high. These guys have some different thought process on what's going on here. And I imagine being in a situation will be terrifying. I'm not just trying to judge them like I'd be this
for
fucking
sure.
ace and could just do whatever, right? And like there's so much. I'm surprised they didn't like include a ricochet in this, like a ricochet.
One of the
like,
guys
hit
just gets killed. Yeah, nobody gets killed.
Yeah,
in this.
I'm surprised it did because like they're like shooting those metal bars, and that's like admittedly powders are different now than they are then. And this was post. I did double check. This is post the invention of smokeless powder, which fucked with me this whole movie. But so they could have all been smokeless powder. But anyway, I'm just surprised it didn't happen. And in that situation, it could have happened. But I think as many shots as they fired, at least a couple would have got past the bars. I think. I know it's more for
Yeah.
dramatic effect.
That lion was
Right
like
there in the
right there
fire.
the whole time, and it was a good like
Yeah.
2 minutes straight of this lion pressed up against the bars, just pushing on it, roaring, and these guys are just like,
Would have taken one of them to just like focus for 2 fucking seconds
Yeah.
to just like stop, aim, and shoot.
They could've-
Instead, they're just like,
Yep.
Yeah.
just like fucking
Yep.
everywhere.
I'm surprised one didn't hit another. Like this one guy just like is
Yeah.
flailing around. He just shoots one of his friends.
Boom.
Honestly, surprised too because it said when the lion roared, one of the guys covers his ears. He would have dropped his gun.
Yeah,
He wouldn't have been able to pick his gun back
Yeah.
up.
Those
He'd
are-
have been in
those
the
are-
middle of all the chaos
Those are
of
full.
them.
Yeah, unless there are some carbine models, which even then carbine models are not like they are today. We're talking about full, proper long rifles.
Yeah.
Those are long, they're heavy. Like,
He just propped it up on his shoulder.
my freak. Oh, my
also,
freaking
does
ears.
this lion
Lions
have
roar
like
loud.
supersonic like a supersonic roar that like hurts your eardrums? Like
Well, they're
I'd have to look up the decibels on a lion roar.
lions roar really loud, but they're stuck inside this.
in an enclosed area.
It's in an enclosed
Technically.
area, and I'm pretty sure it's metal, so it would definitely.
It would have been loud enough. But I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it would've been
terrified
very
to fuck,
loud.
so I mean, they're going to be a bit more skittish.
So a
about it.
lion's roar can reach 114 decibels. That's actually fucking loud.
So that's loud.
The level of sound is comparable to that of a chainsaw. It can be heard up to 5 miles away. The human pain threshold is about 110.
Well,
All right,
you go.
there you go. That's why the guy was
shit.
covering his
All
ears. See, heavy research here on Dissect That Film. Thanks, Google.
Sometimes
Right.
Thanks,
Hey.
Google.
Google's great.
So, yeah, the contraption, well, I mean, it kind of works. It just none of the guys wanted to do anything. So, of
Yep.
course,
Except for escape out the
Where
back.
was
The guy
everybody
that's
else?
opening up.
you
Where was
imagine,
everybody
like, no one
else?
is hearing this happening to the point where it's like, maybe we should go help. It's like, nope, they got it
got
handled.
soundproofing
They're
on the
supposed to
They
be
got
there.
it, guys. They're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fine.
especially fucking Val, dude. He's all over that shit. I'm surprised he didn't go out there just start popping away at it too.
So he's pissed the next day. He's giving those guys shit. Like, you couldn't even hit one shot. There's not even, like, you couldn't even wound it. They're like looking
Yep.
for blood. There's no blood anywhere. Oh, man. I just love the guy who's like, it'll be different next time. And then he doesn't say it, but he just looks at them. In his head, he's like, there is going to be no next time, you sons of
Nope.
bitches. Get out of here.
They're not going to fall for it again.
Yeah.
Well, they could use them as a trap. You know.
That was the idea.
Just-
Was they were supposed to be?
I know.
bait.
Well, they could.
I'm surprised, to be
leave
honest,
them.
that the script didn't have those guys dying. Like, the lion bursts through the thing and just wipes them all out, and John discovers it the
Yeah.
next day. Like, that's what I was surprised that wasn't the case. Like, the lion gets nothing out of this other than scaring the
Yep.
shit out of these dudes. I mean,
Which is what you think is going to happen because all the bars are going back and forth, and it's all the bolts and stuff are. You'd
Yeah.
think.
these lions are
Yeah.
huge, by the way. Like, these
They're
are
very big.
massive male lions that just wouldn't do this. Because I guess the actual lions, they were, like I said, they were kind of mangy looking, so they weren't very big. They were just highly aggressive and
Yep.
liked human flesh.
Nom nom nom.
Num num num. So yeah, the next day, the workers are pretty much like, fuck this guy. He shows up. Everything was cool. He shows up, and now people are dying left and right. So he's the problem. And they're about to turn on him, like actually physically attack him. And that's when Michael Douglas comes and saves the day. Remington, hey, back up. Tell me what you want to do now.
Keep rolling.
Oh man, it's at Abdullah. Like, Abdullah's like the leader of all the workers. Like, you think it's supposed to be Samuel, but he's lost control. So Abdullah's like there. He's like the spokesperson for the workers, and I love the
He's like
conversation.
the union leader.
He really is. I love the conversation that him and Remington have though when he has the gun like in his face, and he's just like,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
he introduces himself. He's like, it was a great pleasure meeting you. Got this
Yep.
barrel of a gun in his mouth. Fantastic. So yeah, it's his name is Charles Remington. I only had him as Remington until they heard the name Charles said like 12 times. And the other exchange that I really like between Abdullah and Remington is Abdullah is like, the devil has come to Tsavo, and he's like, yes, he has. I am the devil. And I was like, yeah, it's actually a pretty fucking cool line.
Yeah.
Can't deny that. And then he also brought some backup, which is some members of the Maasai tribe, which I guess so from what I've read, the who we see in this scene are extras that they dressed as Maasai soldiers, and then the ones that were used in the hunt which is the next scene, were real Maasai warriors.
So
I could be wrong, but that was what I read. But they could all have been real, the actual Maasai warriors. It
Yeah,
makes more sense that that's the case.
Yeah, it says most of them were played by South Africans.
Right. And then I think I read that the actual hunt, the ones that were
Yeah.
included in the hunt
Yeah.
were the real
Are
Maasai
real.
warriors.
Yeah.
So yeah, Remington comes into the camp and he is barking orders, and certain people are not a fan of it. Pretty much just the doctor, because he comes in, he's just like, I'm going to need you to build an entirely new hospital because this is a buffet. Like, the lions are going to come in here and have a field day with this. So build a new hospital, get everybody over to that. And at first, the doctor's like, what? That's going to be impossible. Because he was like, literally like, I need it done by tomorrow. What? Okay. But he ends up doing it. And we get a fireside chat where we kind of get some character development with Remington, where you find out kind of who he is. He doesn't really I think what's good about Remington and what I think they did well with his character is he didn't come in and is completely like an asshole, and then he has to like change, like he then becomes like a good guy. Like, he's not a shitty guy when he comes in. He's just there to do his job. And he has like this connection with the Maasai warriors, which I like that whole thing. But also you find out that he fought in the Civil War in the US and his family got killed. And so that's kind of, and he goes to Africa a lot because he feels it is an escape from his shitty reality. He drinks some cow blood. It's kind of gross. I don't know why people do this. It's like, why do we got to drink blood, man? I'm not a vampire. Like, if I'm going to drink blood, at least let me live forever.
That's fair.
Oh, it's more than cow blood. Well, according to the traditional drink is.
What's the additional?
It's got cow urine in it.
Oh, just add a little flavor.
So apparently what they were drinking is what the traditional drink was. I was like, I wonder how many times he threw up after realizing what he drank.
What are you talking about? Michael Douglas became one with them.
Why is it so spicy?
Why is it so spicy? Oh, I love the whole thing where he's just like, thank you for saving me back there, and then Remington talks about how, oh yeah, you'd be really useful, John. I heard you're a good shot. You killed a lion with one shot. He's like, oh, I appreciate that. And he's like, yeah, I'm a considerable man. And I love Samuel just laughing his ass off. He's like, what are you laughing about? Am I not a considerable man? It's considerate man. Oh man, I love Samuel.
Yes.
So it's time for the hunt, and they're all splitting off. John goes up high. Him and the warriors are down low. We get like a zebra jump scare. Like, well, I gotta have one of those. But it's like, oh, it's not the thing we're looking for. And my son was
like the warthog and the warthog and Anaconda.
Yes, right. Yeah, or the monkey.
Yeah, the monkey
vomits out the monkey. My son, my 3-year-old was watching this, and he's like, oh, zebra. Yeah.
Actually, this isn't too bad. Outside of like the gore, there's not that much language really either.
Listen, I don't care. Like,
no. I'm not talking about for you. I just meant like in general, like watching this with.
There's like the language. I mean, it's PG-13.
Mainly.
I
thought it was R.
Oh, is it R? Oh, probably because there is a lot of violence. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people dying in this.
Yeah, it's fair. Only for that.
In this world gone wrong, you don't spank the monkey spanks you.
You have a monkey?
Yeah, thank you.
I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Thank you.
So they see the lion, but they can't get a good shot. And John finally is able to square off against the lion, but he freezes. Well, at first he tries to take a shot, and there's nothing. It's like a misfire, and then he freezes.
Oh, because he exchanged guns with the doctor.
Yeah.
Why? Oh my god!
I'm sure the doctor did that on purpose.
Dude,
just saying.
100% was my thought after when he misses and the lion runs away, and Remington comes up to him. He's like, "What the hell happened?" And he's like, I was a misfire. Blah. He's like, "Oh, it's a new gun that I got from the doctor." He's like, "So you brought like an unused rifle into this hunt?" He's like, "What? Why?"
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great because I even thought that too. Because here's a couple reasons why I have an issue with this. His normal gun is a bolt gun. It's an Enfield of some type, so it's going to have top out of 6 rounds. You can have 5 in the box mag. One of the thing. That's 6 shots. What the other thing he took was we looked this up. It's a full Kortzen.
Yes.
It's a single shot. It's literally there's a tiny little lever on the back, and you hit it, and that opens it up, ejects the shell. You're going in a thing, you're probably going to need more than one shot. Why the fuck would you take that? Like, it just blows my mind why he switched guns. And not to mention, other than it being proven, like that's even when you carry a gun, if you carry a gun or anything for personal defense, you always test it. Like you at least want to try 500 rounds in it first before you carry it around to make sure it works right, because you don't know if they could have feed issues, or like this, and a misfire in a center fire projectile, assuming it's center fire, it could have been some obscure fucking cartridge from back then. It's like pin fire or some shit. Like that's not a super common thing, but it can happen.
Yeah,
because you have no follow up.
Yeah, well, the only reason he takes it is because the doctor's like, oh, it's a better weapon than what you have. And John's like, oh, all right.
He just takes him at his words, like,
Yeah.
all right, I trust you for some reason.
Yeah.
And he's a hunter. You should know this. You should know about follow-up shots.
But the thing is, nothing happens with this, by the way. Like, this happens, and you would think there would have been some sort of like talk with the doctor afterwards, like Remington talks to him, or even John talks to him.
Yeah.
Nothing happens with it. It just kind of gets pushed under the rug. Like, all right.
Yeah. So it's like a thing that happens and no conclusion.
After this, though, the Messiah are out. They're like, yeah, these aren't lions. These are demons or devils of some sort. So peace. Yep. So Remington and John come up with a plan to set up the hospital. Like, everybody's going to be at the new hospital, and they're going to like bait the old one. So they like put blood all over the outside. They put some cows on the inside. I don't remember if they put anything on the outside. They just set like fires around it, and there's some bait out there to lure the lions in. And the lions show up, and they kind of taunt them. They literally like hit the side of the building. They're like, one of them's on the roof, and then they just disappear. And then an absolute massacre happens at the new hospital, like immediately. Like, the lions literally just bust in and just go to town on every single person in this hospital. And the doctor is like, it's my hospital, I gotta go protect him. Like, well, he's dead. Like, we know as soon as he wants to go to the hospital, he's dead.
Yep.
And by the time John and Remington get to the hospital, it's just everybody's dead. They find the doctor, and it's just a bloodbath. And you guys hear like the weird crunching sound when the lion would bite down on somebody? It was really distracting. It was like,
eating some chips.
I'm like, is that how that would sound? I mean, maybe. That was just weird.
Oh.
Also, before this massacre, I think John tells Remington that the lions have killed 40 people at this point. And there must have been 40 to 50 people in this hospital. Like, there was a shit ton of people in here.
Yeah.
So now we're close. We're hitting close to 100 at this point. So all the workers are out. They're all like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And everyone is on this train. I was waiting for guys on the train to be like, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God. So Samuel walks up to John. He says, put this goddamn necklace on, you son of a bitch. It's going to protect you. This might have helped, you piece of shit. I told you this was going to be good luck. So yeah, they gotta go hunting again. So Remington and John, they go on a little journey, and they kind of connect. They kind of share some stories, mostly Remington, and they track down the lions. Well, sort of. They track down their den, and this is when they discover the den is full of human remains, like an insane amount of bones. Human bones. It's wild. And I love, like, Remington's face sells it all. Like, it's just absolute shock. He's like, this is not what a lion's den should look like. Like, this is insane. So that means, like, he's pretty much like, yeah, these things have been killing people for a long time. Because these aren't just workers from the railroad. Like, these are like,
yeah, they're not all fresh by any means. Like, they've been there for fucking years.
Yeah. So this is just what they do. And this is when he mentioned, he's like, they're not killing for food. They're killing because they're enjoying it. They're killing for pleasure. And you're like, oh shit. That makes it even scarier. What is the movie where it's like the same line where it's like, it's not, Jurassic World, the Indominus Rex. He's like, it's not killing for food. It's killing for sport.
Oh, not the apatosaurus.
All the apatosauruses are dead.
No.
The only practical effect in the entire movie.
Cop outs.
So John comes up with an idea for a thing called a machan. It's like this platform that he's going to sit on to kind of be bait for the lion, but also he'll be like far enough off the ground so the lion can't get to him as easily, even though they can climb trees. So,
and it's rickety as fuck.
Oh
too.
my
like,
God,
that thing was not sturdy.
And these lions are smart as shit. I imagine one of them just literally run full speed into the side of it and just like just crashes down. See you later. And you find out it's Christmas. Not that that really pertains to anything because it doesn't go anywhere. But Merry Christmas, because it's that time of the year.
Yeah.
We have a real baboon, and it is screeching like a motherfucker because it knows there's something out there ready to get him. And it's kind of like the goat in Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Where you don't actually see the baboon get killed. It's just like you hear it screaming, and then the screaming stops, and then it just shows the lion vision, by the way, which is pretty cool. It's like the gray with like the weird white heat vision it's got. And a random bird just shows up and knocks John off the platform. I'm like, was this bird working with the lion? What is happening? Like, it was like the lion came and was like, hey, anybody want to, I'll give you a few, I got some food. I got plenty of bodies over there. You guys can snack up all you want, but I need you to go fly at that guy because he's pissing me off. I want to kill him.
This isn't the same reality as the Lion King remake. They work together. Like, go ice that bitch.
Birds are assholes, so I mean, I believe it.
They are.
It's just so convenient that the lion is like waiting there. He's like, I would really suck if something happened right now.
Bird's name is
Holy shit!
There's got to be some reference. There's got to be some lineage of Mufasa's in the past. Or something. We don't know when it takes place, so I don't know.
I don't know. It comes and sings a lovely bunch of coconuts. Yeah, see, he gets it. He gets where I was going.
Oh, so yeah, he falls down, and before the lion can get him, he shoots the pistol that Remington gave him. I thought he killed the lion, but the lion just runs away. I don't think he actually hit him. Or did he hit him?
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they follow the blood.
Oh, okay.
He's like, you got him. Like,
so they're able to track the lion, and then Remington is able to kill this one. And so they celebrate. They're like, yay, there's only one left. And you can hear the best is when they're sitting around the fire and you hear the lion roaring in the distance. And they're like, yeah, he's all by himself now. So sucks to be him.
Singing all by myself.
Yeah. He's literally back there like, all by myself. But it's in lion, so it's just a bunch of roars.
That's what he's singing.
So
it's him and the bird from earlier. They're not singing about a lovely bunch.
Just high-fiving
anymore.
Just high-fiving. Get it. So the railroad's getting completed, and John's family's coming to pay a visit, and he's all happy. He's like, yay. And his wife, I forgot to mention, his wife's played by Emily Mortimer. She was in Scream 3, and she was in Mary Poppins Returns. That's where I recognize her from. And she was in like Cars 2, which is a fucking piece of shit movie. Shutter Island. She did the English language version of Howl's Moving Castle.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's a very prominent English actress. She hasn't aged though, because this movie came out in 96, and she was in Mary Poppins Returns, which was in like 20. When did that movie come out? 2018. And she doesn't look like she's aged at all. But yeah, she's there with a baby. I'm sorry. This is 1898. This baby's gonna be dead like soon after she visits Africa. I'm sorry. This baby's contracting something and is gonna be dead before.
She's already got it on the train.
100%. Like no offense to like these countries, but like this was 1898. Like even kids in like the early 1900s were dying from fucking fevers in the US. Like at super young ages. Like literally I could go to a cemetery like close by and find a grave for like a 3-year-old in like the early 1900s.
There's
we had one by my childhood house. Like it was like a pioneer graveyard, and like a lot of them were like children and babies and whatnot.
Yeah. So maybe like she literally mentions it before he leaves in the beginning of the movie, where she's like as soon as he's born, because she really wants a boy. I think traveling is in the plans. And I'm like, that's a bad idea. Just wait for him to come back. It's fine.
Yeah,
like you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, don't risk your baby's health because you haven't seen your husband in 6 months. It's okay. During wars, people didn't see their families for years.
Yep.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't risk that. But yeah, so she's there with the baby, and then John, he looks into the long grass, and he sees the lion, and it's running, and he's like, no! And of course, he's like, he's running through a crowd, and he's getting stopped, and and he can't save him in time, and they actually show you the attack of her getting wiped out, and the lion just gnawing on her, and then he wakes up.
Yeah.
It's all a dream or a nightmare.
Because they've been drinking.
Yeah.
But he
Was
hears
it?
it first. He's trying to walk up to her, and he hears it, and it's like, oh yeah.
He wakes up.
We know what's happening.
He wakes up like cuddling with the lion. What?
He
What
found it.
happened?
He
Had
slept
too much to drink.
You're so your hair is so nice. He's just rubbing the mane.
Yeah.
That's his wife's hair.
Purring.
Listen, people be weird. All right.
It's true.
So yeah, this is when you find out that Charles got killed. He just gets taken and he's dead. You're like, what?
Unceremoniously.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, welcome to the movie. You're dead. It's so quick.
Not even like any he goes out by wounding the lion in the final struggle or something. Just wake up and then they just find his corpse. But nobody. I'm assuming because everybody was blitzed out of their mind.
Yeah.
Why didn't they fall asleep in the same area?
They could have cuddled.
How did they make it to?
Also,
their
how does
tents?
no one hear these things happening?
True.
See, dude, you good.
I don't know. I mean, maybe the lion was like, I'm going to be stealthy. I'm going to grab this guy. No one's going to hear me. Just fucking drags him away. But like that tent is torn to shreds. Like the things are thrown everywhere. The lion didn't even go in the front door. It made an entrance in the back. You hear the
Kool-Aid Man.
fabric ripping.
It reminds me of I'm assuming the yelling, the roaring the night before was actually the lion telling them, you killed my brother Teddy. I'm gonna get you fuckers.
Teddy. Love it.
It's the same now, Teddy.
Teddy in the darkness.
Teddy in the darkness. Fuck yeah. That's actually his name. I just guessed it real well.
Just Teddy
the
and
one's
Toby.
actually Teddy. Yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they find the body. To be honest, at first I didn't know they found the body. I just thought he found the necklace. Like Samuel shows him the necklace, but then you see him put a blanket over him, and then they burn his body, but then they burn the grass. And I'm like, that's going to be a major issue. Like, I understand what you're trying to do, but there's a lot of dry grass here. Like, this is going to be a major issue. It's not going to just stop because of I love in movies where the major issues is resolved, and then all the disaster that you caused just stops.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
It just makes it a certain point, and it's like
The Lion King, right? All everything's on fire, but as soon as Scar is killed, the rain comes, and it's all better now. I love The Lion King, the fucking animated one.
The biggest mistake in that movie is it didn't play Africa by Toto in it.
I would have gone for that in this movie during the credits.
Hey,
That'd been sweet.
Yeah.
why do you think I thought it was cool that when the lions first start showing up, it sounds like Scar's theme, the beginning of when he sings "Be Prepared."
I fucking love Be Prepared, and I was so.
It's a great song.
Listen, the remake, utter trash. It's utter trash. But the fact that they were like, we can't do Be Prepared because it's got imagery. Because of shut up. Just don't have them do that. Just the song can still exist.
Yes.
He doesn't have to run them I don't know, some kind of second, third, or fourth Reich. He could just,
yeah, exactly.
have a group of hyenas that he's just telling what to do.
They could just be standing in a crowd. So
we can't do that.
hyenas.
We can no longer have marching stormtroopers, marching soldiers of any kind. It's all out. You can't do it. It's scary to everybody.
Yes, because it only happened one time.
There was that one war that ever happened.
Yeah.
That was the one main villain.
Where soldiers
never going to
marched.
happen again, ever.
Never, ever. No way.
Not anytime
Alright.
soon, that's for sure.
Nope.
So yeah, we get the final showdown, and it's pretty cool. It's supposed to be epic of him going out there and setting the the field on fire, and then him walking across the bridge and him getting attacked by the lion who's like underneath the bridge. And I thought it was pretty cool. The weird thing is the rotoscoping on the lions sometimes in this movie just looked really weird. Like, because they were because of course they had to film because the majority of the lions in this movie were real. Like they actually, there was, like I said, there was only a select number of scenes in the movie that were Stan Winston's animatronics. So they just would film the lions in like enclosures, and then they would rotoscope them into the movie. But they tried to do it with like slow-mo, and I was like, why does it have to be in slow-mo? Like, stop. What, like, for one, I hate slow-mo. I hate slow motion. I think it takes away from the action that is happening on screen. Like, but you want it to be long, like you want it to last longer. Like, no, motherfucker, I just want the shit to happen. Like, I want it to feel real.
I think it was James Cameron who said like he hated that too, but he used it in Terminator 2, but he uses it in like dramatic scenes, which is when you should use it, not when it's like high action scenes,
right?
But when it's like a dramatic moment, that's when you should be using it.
Not,
using it for action scenes is bullshit.
Yes, so you're specifically talking about the scene where we first see the T-800, and you don't know if it's a good or bad guy, right? And he takes the gun out of the rose box. That's a perfectly used slow-mo because, like, again, you're like John, you don't know if this is a bad Terminator. So the slow-mo of him whipping out the gun, you think, oh shit, John's fucked. But instead he shoots at the T-1000. Great use of slow-mo. This, it's like, we already know about the lions. Why are we getting, why does this gotta be so many slow-mo shots? And it's like, once in a while, it's okay if it's done correctly, like you said. But like this end scene, I just want shit to happen. Like the lion coming through the holes and attacking him is cool, but like, maybe if the lion like jumped through the hole and it was like this really epic jump, but it didn't because the rotoscoping was still weird. Like it was like at points the lion was like see-through because they couldn't like I said, the rotoscoping was just, I don't know. It was odd. But so the lion chases after John because I guess John is like his number one target. Like they had a contract. The other lions were just like, fuck this white guy that shows up. He's fucked. Like all the other white guys are dead. We have one left. We're not going to kill the guy who's from here. No way. And they finally, he's able to kill him. He actually has to shoot him twice. That's just how much of a beast this lion is.
It's pretty dramatic. It's raising the tree and it falls out of the tree. I actually like this ending.
Oh, it's good because it's the whole thing where he climbs up the tree. Samuel climbs up the tree. He's got to throw the gun. He misses it, and then he's got to like drop down, and the lion drops down, and he gets one shot off, and you could see like it was a pretty good shot of the lion like looking like it got shot, and then it's like they had the lion crawling to like act like it's wounded to the point where then it's gonna right before it's about to pounce on him again, he gets the kill shot.
I would have done one thing different in this movie.
Okay.
This ending. And the director has knowledge of this, and he should have done this. The ending should have been Val Kilmer, shirtless, covered in mud, setting up traps to kill the lion. And he battles it barehanded. And he beats his head in with a fucking rock. Until the lion sets its self-detonation. I do love
missed it by
so
this much.
You're so close. How dare you?
He hits the lion with the rock, and then you see it like the skin falls away, and it's a robot. It just turns to him and it laughs like Remington. It just
I love how you
that's
said
like the
he knows
1970s
this.
sci-fi ending to this movie.
Oh my god!
I was just trying to make it as Predator as possible.
He's like, I have done a Predator movie before.
Not the right one, but that's just a connection.
Still a good movie.
Anyway, I did like the ending of this. I did like the final struggle.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So the end of the movie is showing the workers coming back, helping complete the bridge, and John's family actually coming. But this time, instead of his wife and child there, and immediately sees him and constantly just goes, "Hey, hey!" She doesn't see him. It's constantly going like, "Hey!" and she's just like walking away, and then they reunite, and it's pretty emotional. And
So
yeah,
sad and happy.
yeah. And then Samuel goes into his final narration of explaining like how the bridge was completed and how, and even I like the fact that he even states like, oh, you can still see the lions today. They're at the Field Museum in Chicago, Illinois. I was like, so that's weird. Usually we just get that in like some weird like text at the end of the movie, like right before the credits hit. But like, nope, we had to have Samuel tell me, and I'm okay with it. We forgot to mention Samuel's actor, John Canny. He's great. I don't think we mentioned his name. We just mentioned things he's been in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, usually I go through the cast, but I figured, fuck it. We'll talk about him when we get to him. But yeah, that's it. That is the plot of The Ghost in the Darkness from 1996.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus shark? Cocaine shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
In a world filled with bad movies, two men risk it all to bring you a podcast that covers the very worst of cinema.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Join these unlikely heroes as they deep dive into Z-movie classics.
I am Torgo. I take care of the place while the master is away.
Cheesy action films.
I will send you to hell. I've been there for 10 years.
Badly dubbed Italian horror.
Mother, this closet smells of death.
Right through to modern cinematic catastrophes.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
Dominic Lawton.
Oh, my God!
Can be wild.
We have such sights to show you.
The Bad Movie Cult. Available every 2 weeks wherever you get your podcasts.
Now it's time to go around the room and share our final thoughts on the movie. And of course, we're going to start with our guest, Captain Steve. After your recent viewing, what did you think of The Ghost in the Darkness?
Yeah, I still love this movie. I don't even think it was fully nostalgia because I really didn't remember like a lot of the scenes. Like I mostly just remember kind of the clip show in my head from when I was younger. But like rewatching this, like there was more like gory moments than I was kind of expecting, and like they weren't extreme by any means in comparison to a lot of other things, but they were still very like hard hitting for like what the story is. The acting I think was like pretty good. I mean, don't pay attention to Val Kilmer's accent; it's not even there, which is fine. But yeah, everybody was great. Samuel was fucking awesome. The cinematography was really good. And I mean, other than some of like we mentioned, like the rotoscoping issues and whatnot, everything else was like really well done for 1996. Like this doesn't necessarily even feel like a 1996 movie to me. I don't know. It was just really well done. And it's definitely one of the best, like kind of sort of true to life creature features that I've seen.
All right. Angela.
I still love this movie, even after not watching it for who knows how long it's been since I watched it. My favorite, I have to tell you my favorite quote by Samuel though, because I think we didn't play out the whole first part of when they were sitting by the fire when he starts laughing, because he says, "I didn't think you had a mother." And it was a legitimate laugh from everybody. I was like, yes.
That's good. There's a couple of those in the movie. And he's
that was great because you never see him. You see his emotions, but he's usually not like that laughing.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
You know.
I mean, I also forgot to mention the fact that he mentions that he doesn't like lions. Like he's afraid of lions.
Yeah.
Right.
And so every time he's on the hunt, you can see like the fear in his face when he is out there with the gun, just like, I don't want to be here.
I mean, male lions can get up to like what, 8 feet? Like
8 feet long.
Who's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that tall?
Yeah.
Like they can.
Yeah, lions are terrifying. And the fact that people
Very.
like the Siegfried and Roy thing, like when I heard about that whole thing, I was like, well, what the fuck did you expect, man?
No
Yeah, like
shit.
of course.
It's like the dude from the Grizzly Man guy, I can't think of the director, but it was the whole documentary about the guys
Herzog?
Werner Herzog, where it was a whole documentary on this guy who hung out with grizzly bears, and then him and his girlfriend got killed by him, and it's like, the fuck did you expect? Like,
They're still animals.
Yeah.
dummy.
There's so many animal attacks like that. The one lady that got attacked by her pet monkeys getting out of her car, they just attacked her and killed her. Like, don't play around with something
I
like
don't know
that.
why. That's so funny.
No,
Fucking nightmare.
Yeah, the chimp. Yeah,
just leave them alone.
listen, chimps are nah. That's a fuck no animal. Like, either I'm going to look at it through a thing of plexiglass, or I'm going to watch a documentary on it. I'm not.
Yes,
you're never putting me in anything remotely close to a fucking chimp. Those things will tear your face off in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
Yeah,
Too damn smart, too strong for the
yeah.
real good.
All the monkey exhibits we can't at the zoo. We can never go because
I don't
he's
care to
like,
go with it. I just get nervous around them. I don't like them.
Yeah,
it's not monkey. It's primarily just the larger primates, but I don't like monkeys either.
Primates in general.
It's the larger ones. Weird.
They're huge.
Yeah. I think Steve Irwin was the only person that I didn't really go like, wow, that's so stupid. Like, he just was so cool. Like, he's the coolest fucking dude. And when you find out that he died from a stingray sting, you're like, that's not how I was expecting. Because like, if you found out, Steve Irwin got attacked by a crocodile, you'd be like, I bet you that was the way everybody was expecting him to go out. But it was like, just the way it happened. It would have been sad regardless. But you're just like, what? A stingray? Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. Especially an animal that is like super rare. Like, when it comes to attacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And that where it got him was
it was like
such
perfect.
a small,
It was literally like the
target
perfect spot. Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy. All right.
But yeah, love this movie. Can't wait to watch it again. It was definitely one of those that I love seeing come on the TV guide.
I actually thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I kind of regret not watching it when I was younger. Of course, what?
One job.
I know. It's like, we usually when it comes to animal movies, like mammals are like my lowest rung. Like, I'm just not really a mammal guy. Like, it's like the least interesting group, unless you get to like proto mammals or something like that. But whatever. Anyway, but it was pretty good. Like, there was I like Val Kilmer in it. John Caney we talked about, and then the other guy, Henry Selick, played Mahina. Whatever his name was. I just thought he was I don't see much of him, but he's I don't know. He's just got a really
a presence
look to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks fucking cool as hell. Like, he's just seems like I don't know. Anyway, he was cool in the movie.
South Africa too, so
What now?
Henry Selick's from South Africa. So
there you go. So there you go. Perfect. Works out. It was cool. I thought some of the shots were neat. I didn't feel like it hung out too long. I like the dynamic with him and the workers and all that stuff, and there was some cool older pre-Great War weapons and stuff in the movie, and it was good. It was some cool tension in it, and I liked it. It was a fun movie. It's definitely one I'd watch again for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this it has some issues. Mostly the rotoscoping stuff that I mentioned. I think that was my biggest issue with it. It was just like the lions in certain scenes just didn't look good. I know what they were trying to do. Of course, like nowadays, if this movie was remade, it would just be CG. I really think it should have been more in the Jaws vein, where you don't see the lions. You just see, like, I like the fact where we get like a lot of shots with the eyes, and you see like their mane and stuff. And originally, that was William Goldman's like idea for the script. His script was supposed to be a mix between like Lawrence of Arabia and Jaws too. And I feel the lions were just there was too much of the lions to make them less scary, where it's like everybody knows like the reason Jaws is so scary is because of the fact you don't see the shark for 45 50 minutes of the movie. So I don't know, but I still enjoyed it. I still had a good time. I think Val Kilmer's performance is way better than I think he gets credit for. Like, he's not doing anything like crazy in the vein of like what we get in the Island of Dr. Moreau, which is just batshit crazy, or of course like Doc Holliday and Tombstone, which is in my opinion his greatest performance, or even of course he played the singer of the Doors in the Doors, so this was a very subdued performance, but I think he did a great job with it. Other than the accent, which, as Steve stated, it's not like he was trying so hard. Like there was just moments you could kind of hear him trying, but most of the time it just sounded like Val Kilmer. Like he was just doing his normal voice. So it was not as egregious as it could have been. Some final facts before we go to social media. Kevin Costner expressed interest in playing Patterson. Tom Cruise, I guess, was Paramount's first pick, but he declined. This was when Michael Douglas came in with his producing unit to become a producer on the film, and actually was he helped bring in Stephen Hopkins to direct. And then him and Stephen Hopkins did not get along very well because Douglas was pretty much stepping on his toes every which way. So Sean Connery and Anthony Hopkins were in the running for Remington, but both declined. And Gerard Depardieu, don't know who that is, but he was also in the running. And then Douglas, actually, I think Douglas was a producer first, and then when they couldn't find the right fit for Remington, he just stepped in and said, I'll do it. So, and this is what made Stephen Hopkins very upset. So like I said, the lions were also used in George of the Jungle. Their names were Caesar and Bongo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then there was 3 other male African lions, 2 from France and 1 from the United States. But yeah, so according to things I've read, so it says, while the real man-eaters were, like all lions from the Tsavo region, a more aggressive, maneless variety, those used for filming were actually the least aggressive available for both safety and aesthetic reasons. So this won an Academy Award for Best Sound Editing at the 69th Academy Awards. Val Kilmer was nominated for a Razzie for Worst Supporting Actor for this and The Island of Dr. Moreau at the same time. I don't think he deserved that at all.
That blows my mind.
There had to have been worse performances in '96.
Yeah. It blows my mind that he is categorized as supporting actor. He's the main fucking character in the film.
He's like literally in almost every scene of this movie.
So fucking stupid.
Oh, man. So, yeah, it didn't get great reviews. I guess Roger Ebert stated it lacked the usual charm of being so bad it's funny, adding, it was an African adventure that makes the Tarzan movies look subtle and realistic. Had it on his list for worst films of 96.
Has that dude seen Tarzan movies? I feel like that's just a sensationalized comment.
Did he watch anything else that came out in 1996, like Barbed Wire or Biodome? Like,
God. And final facts on the actual event of the Tsavo Man-Eaters. As I stated, so Patterson claimed the lions were responsible to up to 135 deaths, but a paper about the lions and the circumstances surrounding the notorious event states that about 28 to 31 killings can be verified. That's a big ass difference. I stated it close to 50s, so it was a little off. So yeah, there was a whole thing about just kind of, I guess, for many years there was just a lot of, I guess, even a guy, Dr. Bruce Patterson. I don't know if he's related to John, but he also did a paper kind of debunking what Patterson stated. So, and the camp that is at the location where the bridge was built is now called Man-Eaters Camp.
Hell yeah. Yep. I bet they have a mean steak. I don't know.
If you want to check out just a weird side recommendation, if you want to watch another pretty decent, like lion, like rogue lion attack film, the Beast with Idris Elba came out a couple years ago. It's not that bad. It's not great, but
yeah,
it's pretty good. It's
entertaining.
It's nothing. It's not like this.
It's Idris Elba. I mean,
yeah. So, so that's it for The Ghost in the Darkness for us. Now it's time to go over to social media and see what you all had to say about the movie. We're going to start over on our Discord, where we got a few things. Because what I asked from everybody is, for one, if you want to share your thoughts on the movie, cool. but also I wanted to know your favorite Rogue Animal movie and your favorite Val Kilmer performance. Our first one is from Billy, our Billy Joseph Jr., patron and friend of the show, who says it's a favorite of mine and still have my DVD and watch often. Mikey Ward, co-host of The Monster Zone, says, I feel like Hundreds of Beavers doesn't count. And I said, why not? It's a guy getting attacked by a bunch of beavers. Of course it's a Rogue Animal movie. Might be a ridiculous one, but it's still one. Daniel Collins says, I watched it years ago and it freaked me out thinking about a lion stalking me. Yeah, it is pretty terrifying. Mikey continues. He says, I think it falls closer to survival than Rogue Animal if you really think about it, but those beavers do go nuts by the end, so I'm sticking to it. I 100% agree. But he says, on a more serious note, he thinks Cujo fucked him up for life as a kid, and that's always a favorite. We eventually got a St. Bernard, and they stopped being scary because they're big goobers in real life. I mean, Cujo did get rabies, so that was kind of the reason why he goes ape shit. So Jason, or I've seen that, says, if Dog Soldiers is too much of a stretch, which it is, then I'd say Alligator or Razorback. We've done an episode on both Alligator and Alligator 2. I like Alligator a lot. I've never seen Razorback, but I've heard good things about it. So I definitely
I haven't seen it yet either, but I think I'm actually watching it either this week or next week with that friend of mine. So I'm going to be seeing it pretty soon. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Sounds like a winner.
It's popped up many times on like suggestions, especially I think it was on Shudder for a long time. I'm like, God, one day I got to watch this movie.
Yep. And now it's not on there anymore.
Yep. Probably not. Damn it. That always happens. Oh, man. Nicole from Doom Generation says probably Lake Placid or Jaws. Lake Placid is fucking great. I love Lake Placid. And Jaws, of course. If anyone ever, like, if that's my question, like, of course, Jaws is my number one. It's like, it's my favorite movie of all time. It's like, it's going to be in so many different categories, but I feel like I have to, like, you know, put it aside and be like, all right, I got to give somebody else the limelight. And Lake Placid is, it's either between Lake Placid or Anaconda. I fucking love Anaconda.
Same. That's going to be one of those two.
And Daniel Collins says, does Anaconda count? Absolutely it does. And then he says, okay, I changed my answer to Anna fucking Conda.
You can't.
We're getting a remake coming soon.
With Paul Rudd and Jack Black. It's going to be
Jack Black.
Suck. It's going to suck, dude. I'll go see it.
That's another thing. Like, why is this movie getting made? I don't care about like it's the name of the movie that bothers me. The fact that they're calling it a remake of Anaconda while it's about people trying to make an Anaconda movie. It's like they're trying to do like the original conception of Jaws 3, which was Jaws or People Zero, Jaws 3 or something.
Jaws 3, People Zero was the National Lampoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm just like, could we fucking not? Like, could you just like make a movie like you're trying to make a killer snake movie and don't make it about Anaconda specifically? Like,
I don't know.
What are you doing, Hollywood?
Listen, I like Paul Rudd. I like Paul Rudd. And to be honest, I don't hate Jack Black. I like Jack Black. But
no,
like,
me neither.
As soon as they showed them as the two main cast members of that movie, I was like, well, this ain't going to be serious. This ain't going to be like, it ain't going to be that same feel as the original Anaconda. Like, don't get me wrong. The performances in the original Anaconda aren't anything to call home about. You know, we had Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And Owen Wilson.
The guy that,
like, in the beginning of his
Wasp.
career. And John Voight trying to do a Portuguese accent. Like,
yes,
that movie's a classic though. All right. It's one of those, like, it's bad, it's good, you know, so bad it's good type of movie. So we'll see. All right, going over to Instagram. We got one from the Truth Tank who says, one of the best films ever, very underrated. Everything about it is handled well. The action, suspense, didn't overdo it on the gore, and most importantly, the characters, acting, directing, and writing are spot on, and that score is dark, intense. Mouths of Madness says, dang, this is one of my favorites of Val Kilmer. Highly underrated. I can't read. Filthyhorrors.com says it's fantastic. Just look at the cast. Just don't pay attention to Kilmer's accent and ignore his incredibly grating wife. I mean, his wife was so, like, to be honest, half the time I forgot she even was in the movie. Like, she would have never bothered me. So it says focus on Michael Douglas.
First movies.
Yeah. It's like, it says focus on Michael Douglas. I agree. Michael Douglas was a good addition. He's just killed very unceremoniously.
Yeah.
Big Bad Wolf 884 says very underrated film. It's basically Jaws in Africa. I love when we just do that. That's just what we do. Like if it's a movie that is slightly related to Jaws, like it's Jaws and whatever. And now, you know what? I'm not mad about it.
But we could just make Jaws in Africa. The southern, like the coasts off South Africa, are prominent with great whites. Yeah,
but they're like they're like a smaller variety, and they're not as scary as a 25.
We'll just have a big bitch roll.
It's gonna be an air Jaws because those are the ones that literally fucking shoot out of the water.
Yeah, that's the next movie, dude.
Yep. Speaking of which, Jaws is my favorite all-time rogue animal film, and my favorite Val Kilmer role is the one that introduced me to him, Mad Mardigan in Willow, which I haven't seen.
Willow since fucking Willow! My mom loved that damn movie.
Now we're gonna go over to Twitter. We have a few over there. One is from our good friend Darren Lundberg, or at DW Lundberg. He says it's fine. I like it. I like Kilmer and Douglas in it, but it's surprising to see William Goldman write it when nothing about it screams the guy who wrote Butch Cassidy in the Princess Bride. Oh, I forgot that he wrote that too. Mm-hmm. And Hopkins is too generic a director to make it exciting or visceral. That is 100% a response I expect from Darren.
Yep, it is.
Thank you, appreciate it. We love you, Darren.
Yep.
Thank you. Children of the 80s podcast says, I feel like the movie gets a lot of hate, but I love it. To be honest, I don't see people hate this movie. I just don't see people talk about it. To be honest, I didn't see people talk about it until Val Kilmer passed away. Like that was when I started seeing it, circulating around social media. But before that, I was like, I even forgot about it for the longest time. So I don't think it's hate. It's just I think people forgot. And the last one is from Anthony Rudak 4, who says, just rewatched it and I really enjoyed it. Kilmer and the rest of the cast are great, and that Goldsmith score slaps. The true story of the Tsavo Lions are also equally fascinating as it is scary. Yes. I love movies like this where it's based on a true story, but they really it may not have been the exact events, but it's pretty close. At least it's supposed to be close to the events that are portrayed in his book. So it's coming from his perspective. Right. And of course, like I said, Michael Douglas's character doesn't even exist. Like he's not even based on he was based on a real person, but he wasn't a real person. And that's it. We didn't get anything else on any of the other social medias. So thank you to everybody who commented. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Dissect That Film Pod, which is also our threads. We're at Dissect That Film on Twitter and Facebook. So, I post those every week. So make sure to comment, leave your comments on. I'm going to be trying to do like a question of the week included with like your thoughts on the movie to kind of make it kind of spice up the responses. Hopefully get some more people to respond to those. Cause sometimes people are just like, I've never seen the movie, so I don't need to say anything about it. All right. Give you a question of the week then. And if you want to be included in our Discord chat where we had a bunch of awesome responses, just go over to our patreon.com/dissectthatfilm, and you can join the free tier and we can add you to the Discord where we have some great conversations. There's a lot of great channels in there. We talk about physical media, toys, comic books. You get to promote. If you have a podcast, you can promote all your stuff in there. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. So you don't have to pay for it. You literally just have to join our Patreon at the free tier and you can get access to it. I think that's it for The Ghost in the Darkness. Now it's time to talk about what we're talking about next week, because we're hopping back into the Underworld series, everybody. We got 2 more movies left. So next week, our good friend Old Man Brad is coming back on the show to talk about another Underworld movie, as we're going to be talking about 2011's Underworld Awakening. I think it's 2011. It's somewhere around there.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited because I've had fun with the first 3, and these are the ones that came after, and where like people stop giving a shit about the Underworld movies. So let's see if they're on par with those original 3 we talked about. So I'm very excited to finish that franchise off. Yeah, so that's about that. So now what we have to do is Steve has got to let us all know where we can find him in his amazing show Bucket of Chum.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube at Bucket of Chum Podcast. Same with all the social medias, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, all of that nonsense. Either at Bucket of Chum or at Bucket of Chum Podcast. And same with Patreon, patreon.com/Bucket of Chum. I just wrapped up Alligator April, so I did a bunch of Alligator movies. So I did Alligator, The Great Alligator, Alligator 2, The Mutation, and the next one I'm doing is called The Flood, I think, with Casper Van Dien and Nikki Whalen, which I haven't even watched yet, so I'm kind of interested to see that. And then over on Patreon, I'm doing Crawl from 2019, I think it was.
That movie's very... I enjoy the hell out of that one.
I enjoy the hell out of that movie. I have not made that a secret. I love that movie. I saw it in theaters. But yeah, I'll be diving into that one. And I think in May, I'm doing all bear movies, because I'm going to be covering Grizzly to celebrate like the Jaws 50th anniversary. So I'm going to be covering Grizzly. I think on Patreon, I'm going to be covering Grizzly 2.
No!
Yeah.
Stick with the first one.
All I got to say is prepare yourself, because that is
Oh, I own it on Blu-ray. I've seen it. I've watched it twice for various reasons, and it is awful.
Twice?
It's one of the worst movies ever made. So I can't wait to rip into it. It's so bad.
Are you gonna do Prophecy or whatever with the mutant bear thing?
Oh no, I didn't even think about that one. I have seen that one though.
I've never seen it. I just remember.
I've never heard of that. Prophecy?
Yeah, it's like 1982.
Yeah.
Is that the Christopher Walken Prophecy?
No, it's a different one.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of other like rogue bear movies. What's that one with Alec Baldwin and
Anthony Hopkins?
Edge of
The Edge.
The Edge. I knew Edge was in there somewhere.
Yeah, you could do The Great Outdoors.
Oh,
You got to see with the bear. They shoot his blow all the hair off his ass. No, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically I just talk about shark movies, but this year, because there's so many different movies that were kind of inspired by Jaws, I'm also covering things related to that as well. But yeah, mostly every week I'm just covering weird or dumb or new shark movies that come out. There's all kinds of them out there. So yeah, that's basically all I do.
Yeah. Steve's show is worth a listen. He literally does what we do, but he does it by himself, and he does it brilliantly. So if you want to listen to him go through plots of some of the most ridiculous movies I've never heard of, Bucket of Chum is the place to go. And also, it's worth whatever you have to pay for his Patreon to get those extra episodes. So make sure to go support Bucket of Chum. And we always it was an honor to have you back on, because you got to hang out with us to talk about a good Komodo dragon movie and a not so good Komodo dragon movie. So yeah, maybe I mean it's funny because it's like we typecast our guests for certain things, but you know what? I don't care. Like, Steve's a perfect guest when it comes to, like, when I think of rogue animal movies, Captain Steve is the man to contact.
Hell yeah.
I'm always happy to come on.
Oh, thank you again for being here. It was an absolute blast to talk about this movie with you. And lastly, for us, as I stated before, social media. I'm not going to say it again. They'll be in the description or the show notes. I mentioned the Patreon. For $1, you can get uncut versions of these episodes. We have the 4 or 5, depending on how many episodes happen in a month. It's literally the entire episode without any cuts. So the pre-show and all the shit that happens during the show that eventually get cut out for the general audience, you get that. We put polls up once in a while. And then there's other things that I got kind of in the works to include on Patreon. But $1, I think it's well worth it. But if you can't do that, all we ask you to do is to go over to your favorite podcast app of choice and leave us 5 stars, because the more 5 stars we get, hopefully the more people will listen to the show. And we definitely want more people to listen to the show and hopefully fall in love with the show and then become big fans. And then one day we could do this for a living, which is just a pipe. But you know what? I'll smoke that pipe all day. And we have a YouTube channel where you can watch the video versions of each episode. So go over to youtube.com/dissect that film and, listen or watch us as we talk about whatever movie we're talking about. And make sure to subscribe, of course, because it's free. And leave us a comment. We love reading your comments. Hopefully they're nice. But, even if you got some criticism, I will never turn down criticism. I will always embrace it. And I may not listen to your criticism, but I will read it. Lastly, as I usually have it popped open, so that's why this will be cut out. I want to thank our wonderful patrons. We have Billy Joseph Jr., Andrew Schoening, Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast, Corey Morissette, Daniel Collins, Rudy5453, Dustin of the Flicks and Friends Podcast, Dan and Angela, Anna Presley, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Jason, and Robert Stewart. Thank you so much to all of you who support us over on Patreon. And thank you to everybody who just listens to the show, supports the show, shares the show, and all that fun stuff that's included. I think that's it. I probably forgot to say something, but you know what? I'm done. All right. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela, and that is Captain Steve Coates of the Bucket of Chum Shark Movie Podcast. This has been another episode of the Dissect That Film Podcast. We'll see you all again on the next one. Bye.
Bye.